We are getting the ready check in the in-game chat. Let's get ourselves on for game number 1 of day 2 of the Trackmania Grand League. There will be 8 total playdays. We're seeing Alliance and Into the Breach. Alliance won their match, Into the Breach lost, and they are now looking for redemption from yesterday. Maybe we can also take a look at the overall rankings from yesterday.
Yes, we can take a look at the overall ranking, see which teams won and which teams lost. It is interesting, and maybe not even interesting, maybe it's kind of expected to see Solary at the top, like winning 4-0.
Winning 4-0 indeed. They were really strong. Are we starting on Parkour? We don't know. We have the first ban now from Into the Breach.
An interesting thing about specifically this Into the Breach and Alliance match is that they had the exact same bans when they played yesterday.
Flip of Faith banned against Alliance and Slowdown banned against Into the Breach, and now Freestyle first pick from Into the Breach.
See, this is the thing, right? I think these are not exactly the same, but close to the same bans. I think Flip of Faith got banned yesterday as well, and we've seen them play exactly the same maps as well, so we don't actually know how these teams fare on things like arrow pipes or slowdown.
And look at this, they second picked Parkour. Alliance really want to go into that. There was a brawl yesterday, they all failed on that, but now they're picking it. Back and forth picked by ITB, and Gyroscope picked by Alliance, a map they were very consistent at.
It's actually interesting that it's ITB that picked back and forth, because it's the only map on paper where Alliance was just clearly better.
Yeah, Slippy slides now coming through, and we will have the last choice here of Into the Breach between all these maps. The 6th choice, which one will it be? They have Reps, Agility Dash, or Arrow Pipes. Are we gonna see it? Arrow Pipes in the map pack? No,
unfortunate.
And we have Reps. Still though, looking to be a very exciting match.
It is looking to be an exciting match, and Freestyle in the start is gonna be super exciting. This is one of the this is the map where in the ending they have to drive on the dirt wall and do these small jumps, which can be very, very tricky if you don't exactly know what you're doing. Of course, these players have tens and tens of hours on these maps, but we still see mistakes coming in every single round.
I will say it's starting out with a bang with Freestyle, because this map is one we haven't yet seen either Alliance or ITB play. And it is a map with a lot of small tricks to it. The dirt wall ride identity, the obstacle part there, and also generally really tricky here with plastic, with the no steer to keep speed.
I think we're gonna have an interesting first match for today, so let's just jump right into it. It is the Trackmania World Tour, day number 2.
Yep, it's off. We have first game of 4. Quick warm-up that you're probably now never gonna see Mutta drive here. We talked about that rhythm thing.
Mutta does not like the warm-ups. He needs to, complete a map if he plays it.
He does indeed. So we do have just the other 3 players now.
Now to let chat know if you are interested, Grenadi currently holds the world record of this match, the public world record we should say, which is a 107.49. 107.49.
He was able to drive a 107.60 actually in the match yesterday, looking very strong at this map, Grenadi. And so there's this part in the middle that you will see on Freestyle, where there's 2 different trains of thought. It happens at the big ice jump, where you can either jump low or you can jump really high, and we will see teams go for different approaches. But Grenadi, who has the world record, went for that low jump.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Low jump into an ice slide. The ice slide would also increase your speed. So, we see Mime with the first mistake of the day. Soldier and Mutta now attacking Elcon. Elcon is on the task of maintaining that first place to hopefully make this a draw.
Yeah, that is what they're hoping for now. You see Elcon goes for that low jump. This is the part we were talking about. The low jump sets you up for an inside trajectory right here, whereas Mutta and Soldier both have to go wide, and Elcon is in contention to secure the draw, but only if he can catch up to the defending Trackmania Grand League champion Mutta in the identity.
And this is the identity, where you drive on the wall, you flick your car to get airtime. Elcon unfortunate with another mistake. Soldier has also made a slight blunder. Mutta alone in the lead, but if Soldier can manage to hold his second place down, we're gonna see an ace coming in here from Alliance.
Oh, he went really wide.
Oh, Mime actually got a snipe. That is so important for Into the Breach, getting that 1 point.
You heard the engine approaching. I was thinking, what's that? What's that sound coming through? It is Mime recovering from the mistake. 2-1. denying the ace. And as you can see, we're playing to 10 points on the map, and you have to get 4 map wins in total. So a bit of a hectic start to the game there. Both ITB players making a mistake, and Soldier as well.
Yeah, 3 out of 4 players making a mistake, and we do see those mistakes coming in the identity, because it is very, very difficult. You can save or you can risk it, and I think we're gonna see these players risk it every single round.
Yeah, why not go for it? There is even a secondary approach, but you will never see anyone do it in the identity. The flip around.
Exactly, that's the safe. It is way too slow, but it's also 100% safe. We might see it if we see some players be more than a second or 2 ahead.
Yeah, indeed. If you really want a foolproof method, then that is what you go for. But here, Mudda is again left to try to defend against the 2 ITB players up front and deny an ace incoming as Mime will clip the corner a little bit. That gives Soldier an opportunity. More speed across the wall right now, and the round is going to flip around. Mudda missing the jump. Soldier remains in second. Alcon looking for first place. One last trick will do that for him, and this is going to end up in points for... Hold on, hold that thought.
Oh, Mime and Mudda both missing it again. What is happening? Mime has so little speed. He might not even be able to make this jump. He barely makes it, which is, I mean, he gets 4th. It's gonna be a tie. At least it's not an ace or anything, but a tie. You know, I guess they take those.
Didn't we just speak about that? You probably won't ever see that strategy.
Yeah.
But that is how you can make sure you get enough height.
Well, what happened right there is he had too little speed to even be able to not do that strategy. Like, he was forced into doing it.
Yeah. 3-2 for Alliance. They again win that trade miraculously in the end. And now we are going into round number 3. You have had time now to shake loose a little bit. Get ready to play this map for the first time on stage. And we see Mudda very close to the corner of the reset block, getting rid of that no steer. Alcon has made a mistake here, probably instantly communicating that to his teammate Mime, who's going for the low line.
That was such a risky jump coming in from Soldier, and Mime getting very, very far left side, so he's not going to be able to get this inside line that he's looking for, at least not get the speed out of it, and now Mudda is alone in the lead. Mime is on the task of trying to overtake, but I think he's going to have to pray for a mistake coming in from Mudda in the identity. Let's see if he can catch up here, going on the first wall ride, getting really close to Mudda here. Such a low line, overtaking him, and Mime is now in the lead. Can he maintain it? Give that draw for his teammate. Hopefully he can. Oh, almost with a mistake. Mudda overtaken in the end.
Oh, he almost had it there. Just that same clipping the slight corner with your wheel, and you tilt off and you clip the next one. Mudda takes a win there for Alliance.
Yeah, I mean, it is so difficult when you risk it. What he's doing there, he's going as low as he possibly can to touch the dirt as fast as possible, getting that little bit of extra speed. That's also what got him in front of Mudda in the first place. Unfortunately, he couldn't get it twice in a row.
Could not get it, but again, we see that consistency we talked about, right? Like, he is ahead. ITB are driving faster on paper right now, but they are making those mistakes. It's the battle of consistency and risk, and we do see Mudda, for example, having driven every round pretty clean, except for that one where he crashed. But luckily, Soldier was there to help him.
So, as you've said, you're completely right. Consistency versus risk. We're getting closer to the identity. We see 2 different approaches here on the ice jump. We see Alliance going a little bit higher. We see Into the Breach going lower, going for this inside dirt turn as well, trying to make sure they get the gear here.
This has ace potential for Alliance. Alcon right now, the closest competitor for Into the Breach, but Mime left a little bit behind. Alcon going for more speed into the wall ride. Then Mudda going low there to hit the apex of the corner, clipping a little bit though, and that's going to result in another mistake. Now Mime left to fight for first against Mudda. Up the wall they go. Oh. Mime missing it. And Mudda will win another round, just keeping that consistency and trying his best to carry Alliance 1 point closer here to the 10 mark.
Yeah, 6-4. If Alliance gets one more point, they will put themselves in that match point situation where they can ace it and actually win the map. But so far, so good for Alliance. It looks like they have it on lock.
They do right now, and I'm sure this consistency for Mudda must be feeding off on Soldier. He sees his teammate performing so well. You don't want to be the guy holding your team back. He's going to try to elevate his level now, drive a little bit safer in those parts he's struggling with, particularly the wall rides at the end. Has been an issue, but also This setup right here is not easy. You go into a no steering block, and the angle has to be exactly towards the reset, else you will crash out. Doing that with a lot of nerves and pressure is not at all easy. And then as well, the precision here, just look at it, so close to the ring, slowing down just enough to land in a straight line here, and then lining up for this uphill to get a good no-slide trajectory. Alliance again, chasing another win here, and ITB needs some magic in the wall rides.
Yeah, they need to see Mudda make a mistake, but Mudda's consistency is scary when he's on first here. Let's see if he can maintain it. We saw Mime get really close last time here. Actually, we see him with a slight mistake. Soldier taken up to second place. They're looking for the ace. Elcon needs to be the one who denies it. It does not look like it. Soldier with a slight mistake, but Elcon did the same thing. And now we see Alliance getting all the way up to 9 points.
That is a big round, and what a time from Mudda as well. 1:07.63, we mentioned coming into this, the world record, a 1:07.49. So Mudda there, very close, just 1400ths from Grenadi's world record.
Yeah, I mean, this pace is scary to play against, and not just the pace, but the consistency on top of that. And now, since they're at 9 points, even a draw will give Alliance the win. The only thing Into the Breach can do is get 2 aces to get this in the bag.
The double ace, the pocket aces need to come out here for ITB. They're going all in this round to try to get the jackpot. We'll see if Alliance can defend. Right now, if the positions remain, they would win. Elcon has to pass both the blue players. And he's going to try to do so with this ice slide landing they've been trying. Landing in an ice slide, going out wide, and then pushing for the inside line here. You can see Mime with more speed now, accelerating towards the top. But Mudda, again, is just so far in front. And we have not seen him fail here. All rounds except one, he has made it. So will they be able to defend now and take map 1 pretty convincingly? Looks like the blue players here, if just one of them survives, this should be the GG, although really well played by the entire field. Alliance dominate map number 1.
Alliance getting 12-4 in the first map. Very, very well played. You could have argued that they should have done the safe finish there, the 360, because they just needed one person to not make a mistake. But they both went for the risk. They both got great times, and, you know, they got an ace for it. Yeah,
they really showed up big there, and we're going on to map number 2 now, Parkour. And I want to remind you, this was actually picked by Alliance. And so this was one of the most messy maps to watch yesterday. We had so many fails, triple respawns, quadruple respawns, players not being able to finish, all because of the identity on this map. So perhaps talk me through what exactly is so difficult about this identity, Jnic.
So, once again, for the people that don't know, an identity is what really, you know, separates the map. It's what makes you think, oh, why is this map called Parkour? It's because of the identity. And the identity comes at the ending of the maps. In this map, you jump from platform to platform. You have to land really precisely. If not, you lose your speed. We're gonna see it here in the ending of this map once again, but it is so difficult.
I like to think of it like a chain reaction. Like, imagine you stumble a little bit, and then you hit a patch of ice, you stumble a little bit more, and then you kick your foot into a rock, stumble a little bit further. If you are just a little bit off balance in these last, like, 8 jumps that the players have to do, things quickly go wrong, and Parkour is requiring a lot of precision from these players. Yesterday was a mess. It's a new day today. They have a new opportunity. We're coming to that obstacle part, the identity, right after this bobsleigh.
Yeah, and even that wall jump right there, that half pipe is super precise. Also, this little bobsleigh we've seen people make mistakes on. Elcon and Mime in the lead, going for the outside line here. Hopefully they can maintain ground contact after this jump. Hold that upper gear and then jump down. These jumps very, very precise. To the right, up here, land on the left. This is where we see a lot of people not get enough airtime, but they did. Mime and Elcon both super consistent here on the first round with a 1:02.47.
They are in sync, and what a time. That beats the fastest times from yesterday by over a 10th. And the fastest times on this yesterday was set by ITV. This is a great map for them. 3-0 right off.
And once again, just to update chat here, the current world record is from Mime. So a player from ITB with a 1:02.42.4.
So that was 500ths away from it. That was super close.
Crazy fast.
What exactly made them gain? Because they were quite equal before the bobsleigh, and then we saw ITB gain about 6/10 in the identity. We'll have to take a look. Maybe that it is something they have been working on behind the scenes here, and they're now revealing, because That amount of speed was a bit unprecedented. Again, super close round. What makes them gain here? A different approach into the bobsleigh. We see one player, that is Mime, being left behind on the field, but now up the hill, Elcon will try to secure that win, going up the dirt, getting a low jump across, and now across the planks. Is he going to get a new fast time here? Beautiful transitions. This is where you don't want to stumble, you don't want to hit any rock. Elcon looking very clean, even low air time there. Is this going to be another 102? Yes, it is, and it will be a draw for the round.
Anything 102 is very, very respectable, and I think there's multiple things that they actually did in the end. Already at the bobsleigh, they enter the bobsleigh at a very risky angle, get super high up in the wall, but on the other hand, they get more speed, they get more momentum going out of the bobsleigh, which carries on all the way through the dirt, uphill and into the identity.
Looking at the stats from yesterday, ITB's average pace here, their median record that they drove was a 107.0, whereas Alliance, their median was a 103.9. Sorry, 103.0 and 103.9. So almost a second difference in their averages, and also in the best pace, they are beating them by about 0.4 of a second yesterday. And we see that same pattern kind of repeating here. The two ITB players on this map are looking fantastic, Jnic.
They are, and they're showing it once again here, dominating the field, so far ahead of Mudda right now. Let's see if they can get this identity down. It's still super dangerous. Maybe they can save it a little bit more here. Mime getting it a little bit better, but it honestly doesn't matter as long as both the ITB players are here. Mime losing a lot of speed. He has to respawn. Elcon will take that first place. Maybe Mime can get up to third once again. Yes, because we see Soldier making a mistake, and Into the Breach will get 2 points.
Big round there to win again. It looked a bit like a draw would happen, but the identity claimed 2 players this time. I'm looking at it and I'm trying to understand. I think what's happening is that they are getting an upper gear in the bobsleigh. So they are carrying gear 4 onto the grass out of that bobsleigh and gaining tremendous amounts of speed. We're going to take a look at Mime and Elcon do it this round. Maybe that's what they're doing to
but
get
I
this
think
big
that's
advantage.
also why we see them fall out of the bobsleigh sometimes, because it's such a push to go for it. But they seem to make it work. They haven't failed it just yet, only once, and it was just one of them. Right now, already in the start of this lap here, we see Into the Breach getting the lead. Soldier is a little bit close now. Now, they're all gonna go for this super low airtime, go straight to the other quarter pipe. Land low, Soldier landing really low, might actually be able to pressure Elcon right now. Going into the bobsleigh, you see that third gear trying to push it up a little bit, getting fourth gear now, and it does seem to gain a little bit, but I don't know if it got it perfectly right there.
I don't think they got it just how they wanted, but this diagonal jump is something we see as well, carrying a bit more speed. Here they are very close to Alliance. Soldier right on Elcon's back tail there, trying to get a bit more speed. Elcon low, but still making the landing work. That's another 102, and that's an ace, Jnic. They are 1 point away from taking this map.
This is what you like to see from Into the Breach here, and definitely a good show up after they lost that first map. 9-2, a really, really hard show up from Into the Breach.
And I think we are seeing a really different Mudda here. Mudda has failed out of these first round a lot of times compared to Freestyle, showing that this is a difficult map to drive consistently. But that being said, it's also a map that should fit Mudda's skill sets quite well. We saw a map last season called Tiny Gap with many of the same elements, and it was one of Mudda's best that season, where he did become TMGL champion. So here, they are on the back foot. They really have to ace all the next 3 rounds to win, and maybe Mudda can find something here to make that happen. But again, that bobsleigh is looking like the crucial part where they lose their lead. Again, look at this. They are now only about 2 tenths behind. And after the bobsleigh, are they able to keep up? Soldier losing ground, Mudda able to follow, but he and Soldier both have to pass here for them to win.
This is such a close ending. Mudda actually getting that first place right ahead of Elcon and Mime. Are they going to make it? Elcon apparently made a mistake. Mudda maintains that first place. Hopefully he can get that final jump. It will be so important for C. Mime pushing it, actually almost overtaking, but Mudda keeps the lead, and Alliance will get 2 points, but Into the Breach will still get the victory.
Yeah, they did get it, and you can see even when you get Mudda in the in-game chat writing sick pace, you know that someone is driving very fast on the server. Incredible showing here from ITB.
Incredible showing indeed. Maybe we can have one of the highlights coming in from this map right now as we jump into the next map.
We're going to the next map. That was really a stomp, we have to say. It's not often we see such dominant victories here. Look how close they are before the bobsleigh, and then just zooming out of it. Mutta was able to follow a little bit though, but that pace, the 102s, I think it's a map I ban against them.
Oh, it looks like it, definitely. Also because, as we saw, other teams also has a really hard time getting that parkour identity down, but now it's back and forth. And on paper, this back and forth map is actually in Alliance's favor.
It really is. They were great here yesterday against G1. They won that map 11-8, driving an average time of 58.7, and their best was 58.3. In comparison to ITV, who also played this map, their average was 0.2 slower, although their best was 0.2 faster.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? But you can have a faster best time, but if you fail it too many times, I mean, does that really help? Now, this is going to be a battle between consistency and that close call playstyle that Into the Breach is going for.
Yeah,
oh, already right there.
Soulja driving more consistent, able to catch up a little bit, but now we do see a big start here for Mime up front. He is gaining a lot of time, and they have currently an ace situation with 0.4 of a second of a lead, Jnic.
0.4 of a lead, but that can easily get diminished there as Soulja gets such a good 360. Very wicked coming in from Soulja. Now he's gonna try to see if he can push it right before the identity. Now we get into the identity where the players will get this turnaround and drive the rest of the map backwards.
They will drive backwards here with these reactor blocks, and here it's all about timing your turn. The car is so heavy backwards, you have to get perfect approaches. Elcon a little bit late, having to release. Soulja getting closer, overtaking Mime, almost getting that win, but enough to at least diminish the damage that would be done to their total.
Defending the team, making sure that Into the Breach doesn't get the ace from the very get-go. Super important plays coming in from Soulja. Good to see him stepping it up.
And a 58.4 winning time. A very strong pace starting out. Anything low 58 here is incredibly fast. And we have seen the world records being in the 57s actually. So we might probably see a sub 58 this match. But early, 2 mistakes of equal time loss here, making it a very interesting round. It's 2 1v1s going on.
2 1v1s, but that doesn't mean that the people in the back aren't important. They're still gonna fight for the points. Soulja and Elcon in the lead, the 360. The speed you get out of this, the momentum is so crucial. As you can see, Mime and Mutta fighting it in the back, but maybe we can take a look here in the front as Soulja and Elcon are entering that identity. And Elcon will do so in the lead. He had to release a little bit last time. Maybe Soulja can get a little bit closer. Soulja can full push it. He knows that he's pretty far ahead of that 3rd place. Elcon knows he has to save it to get that 1st place. Maybe there will be a little bit of pressure. It does not look like it. Elcon will take home 1st. Soulja will come 2nd. Mutta, or Mime, and then Mutta.
Yeah, Mime beating Mutta in the end there, securing a win opposed to a draw. Again, mid 58, the winning pace. Elcon is one of the world's best backwards players. He really is. He has finished the everything backwards trial map. He's gotten backwards world records in track of the day. This identity suits him really well, and he's making it show up here as he again wins the round.
Yeah, it's good to see Into the Breach really pushing it this far. They had a little bit of a slow showing the 1st map, but absolutely demolishing here on the 2nd map, and then on the 3rd map, as we're in right now, also looks like they're having a great game.
Yeah, and let's not forget, it is Elcon's 1st Trackmania Grand League season. We saw him in the Open season last year, and he did really well there. Got picked up now by Into the Breach to play with Mime, and they had a loss yesterday in their opening game. But we are seeing a very strong team now with a lot of momentum from that last map win, and I think we have an ace coming in here.
I think so too, and as you said, if you look at the pure points and paper on it all, yeah, we see Elcon with a slight mistake might be able to get overtaken, but they still get the ace.
Very important 800ths there in their favor, 7-2 now.
But if you just look at the stats on paper, even though they lost yesterday, which they did against Team BDS, both those teams had incredible paces. And if they were against pretty much anybody else, they would have had a solid chance of winning.
Yeah, they were going up against Uffy on this track, who was driving 57 and 58.1 and incredible times, and it was just a matter of time before Aurel also got up there and secured the victory for BDS, who will be playing today against Solary. That's an exciting match. And ITV now, though, against a different squad, shows that they are a really strong team on this map if you see it in the right lighting.
Yes, but also nothing against Alliance. Alliance are showing it up as well. They did yesterday as they won their map coming into this game as one of the winning teams. And they're trying to get that 2-0 right now, climbing higher up on the leaderboard. And Mudda really pushing to get it ahead of Mime and Elcon. Soldier might be able to get up to his teammate, going for a little bit more of an inside line, getting a tiny clip, but didn't lose that much speed. And he's now right beside Elcon and can overtake. Are they gonna snipe Mime as well? Are they gonna get it? Mudda so close. Mime keeping that first place really clean. Soldier going a little bit too wide and actually losing that placement once again.
58-19. Fantastic time. 58.25 from Mudda. That was a really solid round. And unfortunately for Alliance, it goes into the favor of Into the Breach. They just need a draw now. And Alliance need 3 aces to get back up.
Yeah, 3 aces to get back up is incredibly difficult to get against Into the Breach when they have this pace. Elcon almost seems to go for that little airtime there on purpose. He doesn't lose too much speed, he gets a great start, and maybe it is just for the consistency.
Could be valuing that more than the little bit of time Mime gained from going low. They're doing this Ice 360 so well here. Also has to be said for Elcon, one of the world's best ice players, and he is pushing ahead out of that small ice segment. And now the 2 Alliance players, they have to both catch up to him if they want to have a chance to win this map. Elcon holding the fort, trying to deny and put them on a 2-1 map lead. Just needs to stay in first. Mime can also catch up to 1 player and secure that. We will see if Elcon remains ahead here. Last turn for Into the Breach, and Elcon will secure it. They win back and forth here.
And that is 2 maps in a row. Sometimes, you know, the momentum you get from winning multiple maps in a row that plays in, even if it's not your map pick, just a mental game is in your favor.
Some really good highlights on this map as well. Some mistakes, but mostly I think it was summarized by their consistency. We do see Soldier here trying to go for that low line, hitting the checkpoint and crashing out.
Yeah, causing ITB to get one of those aces. Definitely a rough mistake coming in, but you cannot afford to go that safe once you're playing against people with this pace, and that's what we saw there. Soldier recognized, I have to go risky, and he did, and unfortunately didn't pay off.
So here we go to Gyroscope. This was a map that Alliance really impressed on against Gamers First, driving consistently 102 low for Mudda. We saw Gwen drive faster sometimes and beat him, but Mudda was very, very consistent here. We also saw Mime and Elcon play this, and they were fast, but they had some crashes.
Yes, I mean, this is definitely one of those maps that it's so unconventional. You are not gonna run into maps like this ever in the regular game. So practicing stuff like this is gonna be something completely different, and we're just gonna see how much time and effort these players have put into this map.
I will say here, Mime and Elcon's average, their median time, was 0.6 of a second faster than Alliance's. But Alliance played fewer rounds because they won quicker. They dominated on this map. Elcon going out with the crash, and Alliance could get into the lead now with a 2-1, but maybe also even an ace. This is a tough situation for Mime to deal with.
Yeah, Mudda will try to see if he can keep that first place. Mime is on the task there to try to see if he can snipe it, and he gets such a good ice slide coming up ahead. Now there we're going to see this left-handed dirt fling with the players. They will tap that brake button to get a little bit more speed. Mudda doing it really well, getting back up into first, and now the identity where the players are going to do either one of 2 different strategies. On the side, like you see the players do now, or on a 360, as you might see Mudda do here. He did not. Yesterday, we saw that coming in from Mudda every single round. He would go for the risky strat in the first turn, and then the safe strat in the second turn, but he did not do that this time.
102.08 from Mime. I think Mudda was fully set on risking failing there to try to snipe away the win, as Elcon was 14 seconds behind. It's a good strategy to just, whether we win or lose, this is something I have to go for. But Mime, it's hard to follow a 102.08. That is almost the world record.
Yeah, I mean, that just goes to show what amount of time and effort they put into this, that they can go ahead and do world record runs every single round. And one of these maps, like this map in particular, is very pace driven. It is kind of consistent once you got the tricks down. These 360s or ice slides might look very difficult, and they are once you start playing in the map. But after you've played it for a certain amount of time and you get consistent with it, the rest of this map is kind of easy.
It kind of is, but pay attention to this ice part coming up. Here, even pros that have practiced that much will sometimes fail because they're trying to avoid the car shifting gears while going really quick. It requires a accurate series of brake taps to avoid that from happening. And also exiting here with the perfect angle as the car straightens out onto the dirt. We see the two Into the Breach players up ahead by about 0.2 of a second. Mutta chasing, and he will have to go for that risky ending again, not turning the car fully around, just sideways, and then flinging through the checkpoint, going for one more. Mime ahead of Alcon now into the last one. We have a bounce out and Mutta snipes
Mutta! What an amazing snap there coming in from Mutta. Soldier also making a mistake, but actually still getting third. That was some really, really clean driving coming in from Mutta, and some very, very fast turnarounds there.
And showing that adaptability. When he's ahead, he will go for the safe 360 here in the first 2 rounds. Both situations, he has to go for the risk, and he gets it there, showing that it pays off to dare, to dream, and to drive with the riskiest strategy.
That was some nice alliteration right there coming in from the casters in the booth. Now running into the next turn. Oh, it looks like we have a slight mistake there coming from Mutta, going really sideways into the bobsleigh loop. I don't know just how much time he lost.
That's lost a lot. A lot, it looks.
Unfortunate.
And we have seen Alcon gain a lot to the other two that haven't made a mistake, but they are half a second behind. Alcon was able to drive 102 lows and barely threading that 101 as well. Can he maybe do that today and show us his really fast pace that we've been talking about? He is, when he grinds a map, one of the world's best players. Got some of the most track of the day world records last year out of the entire community of players. And that just goes to show his pace, but Mime is right there with him. His teammate is following up, showing we are both going to drive fast here and dominate this opponent team. 102.3, and Alcon not getting the ace, but getting points for his team to equalize the match.
Equalized the score indeed. 4-4 for each of the teams. Alcon, unfortunate with a slight mistake there. I think it was because he brake tapped one too many times. Here we see the safe strategy coming in from Mutta, the 360s that you want to do. It is a lot easier, but it also loses just a little bit of time.
Yeah, and just to put into perspective how difficult that non-turnaround strategy is across the ice bridges at the end, if you don't get the exact right angle, the exact right timing of the tap, the car will exit the ice slide that you do across it. With the wrong line, you will not be able to stabilize. Yeah. It's a very specific angle they're going for it right here in the start as well. And this is what Mutta failed last time. But here, all 4 players, I believe, has made it through, except Soldier with a little bit of a time loss, but he's still in range to catch Alcon. Yeah,
this time loss is doable. Definitely nothing to scoff at. Alcon is right in front of him, so he can definitely pressure there, especially if Alcon makes a mistake, gets contact there with the checkpoint. And now Mime and Mutta are alone in the lead, trying to fight it out. This could be pretty crucial. If Mime makes a mistake, we are going to see an ace coming in for Alliance, and it did look like a small mistake. Mutta will capitalize, getting overtake and now into the identity.
That exit speed was something else. We have the battle again, Mime versus Mutta. It feels like the 2 team captains here leading their squad. Mime getting the better ending here though. 102.08 again, pushing close to that 101.
And I think it was a fine call there coming from Mutta, going to the more risky, or sorry, the more safe strat there, because he just needed Mime to make a mistake. He was far enough behind to not, even if he risked it, he probably wouldn't get that first, so he was counting on Mime making a mistake, and he was just going to save it himself. I think it was a great call coming in from Mutta.
Yeah, and also like what it does to your mental, right? When you go for that risky the first time and you fail it, and it's something you've practiced, that does a lot to your mindset. Like, wait, I'm supposed to be getting this. If I throw rounds with this strat, then maybe it's just better I secure them with the other line. But here, we do see a pattern, Jnic. We've talked about it so much. I don't want to repeat it too much, but into the breach, they are going to go faster for the majority of the map. The question is, can they survive driving like this? These lines, we saw Alcon hit the checkpoint last time. Here, he's a pixel away, and that makes the difference.
No, Alcon!
Too low. And Soldier and Mutta, although they were behind, suddenly they're not. This is what we're seeing.
Yeah, Soldier.
Now Mime left to defend.
Soldier might actually overtake there. Got really close. Mutta with more speed. Mime is all alone now. Mime is going to have to make a mistake if they want to get ahead. And Mutta is once again going for the safe line because he knows that so this is a mind game, okay? Mime really doing well here to defend that first place. You love to see it. But what happened there, and I think they know that, is that Mime was in the lead, but only by enough so that he had to go risky. If he went safe, he would have gotten overtaken. So Mudder knew that Mime was gonna risk, so he went safe.
I think he made the call to Soldier. He said, you go risk and I'll safe. And if Soldier catches him, it's a win-win. But here, it's again another draw, 2 draws back-to-back. They're trading blows here, 6-6 now. We're going to 10. This round is very important for who gets the first opportunity at a track point. We have Mime and Soldier both making mistakes in the bobsleigh loop, and Mudda and Elcon fighting for first here. Elcon with the low approach, Mudda coming back into the frame now with more speed into the ice part. 2 mistakes from Elcon here in the last 2 rounds. Needs to get it clean now.
Looks good coming in from Elcon. Nice low line. He will take that first place, getting this flick really outside. That's gonna give him more speed than Mudder going up to this wall ride. And now he's in the lead. He needs to risk it. Will Mudder risk it here to get that first place, or is he gonna go safe again? No, he risks it. Actually gets ahead of Elcon, and now Mudder's in the lead. Can Elcon get this last ending? He might be able to snipe it back. Mudder getting a little bit of a slow turn, and Elcon will make it equalized.
Oh, and what a frustrating round that is for Alliance. They were so close to getting Elcon, but he is elusive, and he holds Mime and him alive in the match. They're gonna go to 7-7 now, thanks to that low 102.
Yeah, but now, as we've talked about, now both of the teams are within reach of winning if they get an ace.
An ace needed. That is first and second place, and a clean 3 points gain to put them on the 10 mark. At least both teams know that this is what's happening, and that they cannot let it happen to them. Into the bobsleigh now. Very important to not fail this. Mudda 2 sideways. This is not a safe line by any means. That was a missed line. And speaking of aces, Elcon and Mime are holding one right now in their hands by about half a second of a lead. Can they hold on to that for a minute of driving here?
I mean, Elcon, we've seen him be really risky, and once he gets it, he will be super fast, but he still has time to make a mistake. Both Elcon and Mime need to get a perfect ending to maintain this ace. Soldier is really close to both of them. There's not much to do but to risk.
I think Soldier's the only one that can stop the win here. Mudda's too far. It needs to be the risky strat or mistake from Into the Breach. Soldier pushing. He's so close to catching Mime. He could keep their match alive right now if he passes him, and he will. Soldier denies the win, and Mudda secures a tie. We're going to 8-8.
8-8. Now all you need to do to get that victory is get first and third, and you're actually gonna win.
1:01.91 as well. What a crazy time that is. Curious if that actually might beat the public world record. I don't remember it off the top of my head. You will get info on that as we are going into round number 8 now. This is a brawl.
Yeah, this might be the last round here on this map. Mudda once again going super sideways on the uphill. We might lose a little bit too much time there. Now Soldier is taking the task of being in first. We also have Mime really far in the back. Mudda actually saved himself quite a lot there. Didn't lose too much, and now it looks like Soldier and Mudda are looking really good.
Alliance can get this map back and put themselves at a 2-2 score lines in the maps overall. If not, Elcon can play denial here and get that first place. He had such a good time last round, but here, did he just slide out on the dirt? He did, and now it's up to Mime 1 second behind them. They can go for the safe strategy here.
Yes.
They recognize their situation. They don't need to risk. They only need first and third, and they could get that with the 360. Mudda doing it, Soldier risking up ahead, and they will secure it here. Clean ace to win. But what a match on Gyroscope.
What a match. And yeah, Mime was tasked to get first there. If he didn't get first, they were gonna lose. And the Alliance people, they knew that. They knew they could get one person to risk, one person to save, and that would give them the victory.
Let's take a look at some of the highlights from those rounds. We have the ending battle here where Mudda was able to clean sweep the Alliance, the Into the Breach members with that good risky ending. And then, of course, here in the 6-6 round, showing that they're pushing in the ending line, and Elcon really denying Alliance as best as he could. But it was a win for the Alliance squad.
Yeah, that battle there in the ending of the last map, Mime versus, Elcon and Mudda going back and forth in the identity was really interesting to watch.
We are on map number 5 of the match. It is Slippy Slides and Jnic. Let's talk a little bit about what the results we saw here yesterday. We had Into the Breach actually losing this map in their game And Alliance, they won this map in their game.
Yeah, but with that being said, I still think there's some other things to be said about the median pace and also about the best times, because I think Into the Breach actually did pretty well.
Into the Breach currently has the fastest recorded match time on this map, a 1:11:32 from Mime, the player we're watching right now. That is 3/10 faster than anyone else drove yesterday. His peak pace is amazing. Their average is about what Alliance's is, right around that 1:12 mid, so almost a second slower than their fastest pace.
So it is, once again, consistency versus pace. I do think that this map favors consistency a little bit more, especially in the ending, because it can be really easy to slide out if you don't land. Also, right here, we see Elcon sliding out because he has wet wheels, and that also loses a tremendous amount of time.
It does. You have to manage really all of the different surfaces here, going from plastic to ice. Also a bit of a weird physics change right there. Mime now losing time to Mutta, and Mutta, he is far ahead into the idol entity, but he hits the wall of the checkpoint.
Is this an ace coming in here from Into the Breach?
Ace, indeed. If they survive the bug slides, very tricky identity part here. Slippy slides, they make it work, and that 112 mid is what we see.
Oh, and Into the Breach is very happy about that ace in the start, but they also gotta say, well, the ace was mostly due to the couple of fails, and we're gonna see more of these fails. This is a very, very difficult map, especially because of these wet wheels and the bug slides that you have to perform.
Yeah, you have to get them right in the clutch moments when it matters, and if you're just a little bit off on your very first approach, it's gonna snowball, and you might miss the third one. It is a chain reaction of sorts. Here, they both get through the start, the Alliance players, and they're now leading this round, looking for their own ace, perhaps. But we saw Elcon and Mime getting a lot in the middle. Elcon hitting the wall there on the dirt uphill, and Mime having to release to avoid a crash. So this could actually be a retaliation from Alliance.
And Alliance notices this. They know that they're 0.3 ahead, so they're probably talking together saying, we can't save too much, but we need to keep these positions. We want to get that ace back, so it goes to 3-3, but Mime is right behind, trying to attack here. Mutta with a slight mistake, Clip and losing a lot of speed, and now Soldier's in the lead. Elcon also with a mistake. Mime, Soldier still there. Mutta not too far behind. Mime needs to get a really good identity to hopefully make this a tie, but Soldier is still in front.
Mime going for an inside approach here. You don't want to over angle. You cannot turn more than 90 degrees sideways. Has to be exactly around that mark. He gets the first two right, looking for the third, and Mime goes wide, but he will take that round. 1:12:05, just barely beating the Alliance players to secure a draw.
I mean, that's important coming in from Into the Breach here. 4-1, a really, really nice start for the map here. ITB showing that they do have the consistency. They might have practiced a little bit more, especially on the maps where they had a few more mistakes, and it shows.
It does show, and Alliance, they had a bit of an unfortunate start to this. Sometimes it takes a few rounds to get into the groove of exactly how did we play this map. You have to keep 10 tracks and all their intricacies in your brain as you go into the games here, and be able to pull that up and drive them on the spot when they show up on the server. So it can take a few rounds. Mutta looks a lot more comfortable in this round than we saw in the first one, where there were mistakes, and now he's right there with Mime into the freewheeling part, avoiding the slide out, getting through onto the dirt. Outside line from both players, and the only place we really saw a difference was in the approach for this reactor. You can see that Mime going a little bit wider onto the block and trying to get an early inside uphill. There you see him coming into frame again, and it's just about equal pace. Mutta going wide here. This is not a safe line, but he makes it work. Who's going to take this round? Soldier has fallen down into last place. Mime staying ahead of Mutta for now, but Mutta on an inside trajectory in this bug slide might be able to set up better for the last. Mime, though, looks like he has it under wraps. 1:11.5.
Great times coming in from all of the players, but Soldier, unfortunately, with a little bit of mistake here. Now, these rounds are going in the favor of Into the Breach. It looks like they have the pace to take this home as well. And while the first team that gets those 3 map wins really puts like that extra pressure, that extra mental weight on the other team.
the more I see from Into the Breach, the more I feel they are a team that kind of excels on the weird maps a little bit, you know? Your normal average Trackmania map, kind of like Slowdown is one of the more pace-based ones. You will see the teams being very level, but when there's something weird with like niche mechanics or these plastic physics that you understand by playing hundreds of hours of it, Alcon and Mime really excel.
I think so too, and there are also players that... Oh, we have a mistake there coming in from Mime, and now Mutta and Soldier have an even better opportunity to hopefully get that reverse ace. Alcon is still up there trying to push, and he also makes a mistake, and now Alliance all alone in the lead. Hopefully they can maintain this. Soldier going way too wide. He's going to lose a lot of speed. Alcon jumping right up there again, up to P number 2. Mutta, once again, has a good lead, about a second down to second place.
But that advancement was not the best they could hope for, as Mime has also crashed, making it, at best, a loss of points for them compared to what Alliance would gain Into the Breach. They do have a second place right now in 4th. Let's see if they can hold that in the identity. Mutta looking very consistent with the lines here, wide and safe, not going to let anything fall out of his hands. A 112.1, but enough to win the round. It's going to go to 7-4 now.
Yeah, and Into the Breach putting themselves in that dangerous zone there where they can actually finish this map by getting an ace. Alliance knows this, but if Alliance gets double aces, which is what they want to do right now, that's when they can come back. But once again, really dangerous situation coming in.
But we have not seen the pace yet from Alliance to deny them. 111 is what Into the Breach are going for. And the fastest we've seen from Soldier and Mutta is low 112s, not 111.5. And that is what they're going to try for now. If they just get a first place here, either Alcon or Mime, and they keep doing that for the next 3 rounds, they will win the match by draws. They just have to get one person surviving with a clean run. Mutta going for consistency up front, losing a little bit of ground here to Mime. Onto the platform now, no slide out. Will happen though, regardless, despite his efforts, and Soldier's catching up. This is looking like an ace is possible for Alliance, and that would put them right back into the game.
Yeah, but this bug slide right here is so important. You see how tight Mime is going right there, actually giving him a tighter line, less dirt or less road to take, but he also gets the speed right now. This is going to be up to the identity. Will Mutta be able to maintain that first place, or can Mime snipe it out? Ooh, he gets a little bit of a wider line here. I think Mutta is going to take that home. It's going to be one more bug slide. Is he going to get it? It looks like he is taking it home from the team, turning it into a draw.
It's not a draw though, because Alcon passed Soldier as well. It's a win. They're at 9-5 right now. And Mime and Alcon are on their 9-5 at work, showing that they've put in the hours to learn these maps, and they just need one draw here to close it out and go to game point.
Yeah, for Alliance, anything worse than first and second will make them lose. There's nothing they can do. They have to get these top 2 places, top 2 positions right now, and Mutta almost falling out the map. Going up to the dirt section here, you are on a fragile block. You do not want to get airtime. You might risk breaking your car, and Mutta driving into the wall.
Soldier needs first. He needs first place here. It's the only saving possibility for Alliance to win this map potentially. He passed 1, but Mime is so far ahead right now. Onto the lower slide.
Like, even if Soldier gets first place, they're not.
They're not. Actually, they're not.
It's both. Mutta has to overtake Alcon and Mime. So this is looking really dark here for Alliance. Like, they're still going to try to fight it out as much as possible. Alcon coming out of thin air right there and overtakes both the players, getting first. And now it actually looks like ITB can end it off with an ace.
Yeah, this is looking very strong. Again, another good map.
Alcon
okay.
they
have one player left to deny Alliance, but Mime does not fail it, and they take a win here. 3-2 now in the overall scoreline.
This is looking really good for Into the Breach, and this is what I told you. On paper, it looks like Into the Breach has the pace to beat Alliance. They just need the consistency, and they've shown they also can bring that if needed.
Let's take a look at some highlights. One of the main moments here, Mime versus Soldier in that ending battle here early on into the map, where you can see the different lines. Mime setting up wide in the early bug slides to get a late, tight bug slide to the finish, paying off, and he was able to do that really fast.
Also seeing the different lines here in the middle. Reactor will come up to in a second here. In another highlight, you see the lines going wide or going inside. Totally different approaches, but they kind of work out depending on the exit speed here.
They do. We will see what ends up being fastest throughout the season. Again, it's all a bit up in the air right now. Strats that were found yesterday, teams have had 1 day to put them into their repertoire, and maybe they haven't had time to learn them. We need to look at Agility Dash right now, because this could be the deciding map. Into the Breach have had the greatest pace of all the teams in the league on this map, but Alliance won it 10-1 yesterday, showing their consistency.
Alliance showed a really good consistency here on their fight yesterday, but they, as you said, on paper, technically don't have the pace to beat ITB if they get into the finish as often as they show. Oh, already a big mistake coming in from Mutta. Elcon and Mime, first and second, 2 car lengths ahead of Soldier. If they can keep this pace up, not just this round, but multiple rounds, this is going to send a really strong message to Alliance, and they're going to have to risk it.
I want to put this into perspective. Alliance's best time on this map yesterday was 1:29.20. Into the Breach's best was 1:28.5. 0.7 faster. So the Alliance players failing at their consistency. That thing we talked about, their winning condition. Here, into the Breach, the only thing that they can happen is that if they stumble in their own shoelaces.
Yeah, but they're 2 seconds ahead of Soldier, who's the closest Alliance player, and they know this. They've definitely yelled to each other that they're far ahead, so hopefully they can save that ending. But the ending on the Agility Dash course here, which is the identity, is incredibly difficult. We're going to come up to it here very soon. We're going to go into this Knife's Edge section where you want low airtime and then 1 jump down to the right after this checkpoint, and we go into the identity where you have to jump from platform to platform. These platforms are made of plastic, very difficult to drive, super difficult to get a hold of if you haven't tried this yourself, and they make it look smooth.
They do no mistakes here. They know how to pull the brakes a little bit. 1:29.3 though, that's almost Alliance's best pace yesterday. They have a tough road ahead here, Alliance, if they are to win this match.
Oh, and by the way, just since we haven't said so, these maps are all publicly available. If you're looking at these identities saying, oh, these are just a couple of jumps left and right, not a problem, go ahead and try them. They are in the World Tour campaign or in the club, and definitely just see what these players are dealing with. It will open your eyes to just how difficult these maps are.
Yeah, because sometimes you don't even think about it. Like, they're actually doing every single input that we see here. They're lining up every drift, thinking about how to place their car for each outside line, hitting just the right spot on that dirt jump to get a low airtime diagonal jump. There are so many details that they are paying attention to that we kind of take for granted. We just expect that they're going to happen, but they're working for every single 100th here in all the rounds.
Yeah, and once again, we're going to see Mime and Elcon going for this hit, and Mutta did it as well. Mutta must have seen the other players do it yesterday when we saw Alliance play on this map. They did not know of that tactic.
Speed slide. Speed slide, 639 speed. It's about 15 more speed than you would have if you didn't speed slide. He's going to catch up, and yeah, as you said, that strategy is something they've added now to their own game, Alliance, to try to get faster on Agility Dash, but they're still not as fast as Mime. This is looking like 1:28 pace here, being driven up front. Mutta trying to keep up onto the knife edge, going very low on these transitions, getting a bit more speed, and also getting that downhill just right to be up ahead into the dash. But is Mime here gonna be able to get faster across the plastic? He has more speed, lower line there, more speed onto this uphill, but then has to surrender a little bit of time gain, and Mime will not take it. Mutta gets a 1:29.12, improving their best pace, but it's only enough for a draw.
Yeah, into the Breach, 4 points versus Alliance 1 point now. This is going to be really difficult for Alliance to come back on. Not only are they 3 points behind, but they're also a full map behind. If Into the Breach wins this one, they win the entirety of the match.
Yeah, they would go on to get a win here. They lost yesterday against BDS, a match that many people had Into the Breach favored on, but BDS really surprised us with their pace in combination with how often they got through the maps without crashing, especially Agility Dash. This was a map BDS won against Into the Breach on, and you can see doing that is not easy. They are so good at it.
They are so good at it indeed. We also see Mutta, or the entirety of the Lions team, actually going for a different line there on the jump. Mime going super wide, trying to get that right side tire down and touch earlier. But now we're going to see all the players hit the scenery here, except Soldier actually, going for the save line. And this is an adaptation Mutta has made from yesterday, seeing other players do it. And once again, Mutta with those speed slides, just zooming ahead.
Yeah, what that speed slide is when you're at 600 speed right there, you can overlap the drift marks behind the car, slide at an angle, and get way more speed. He's zooming away from into the breach now, but the best he could secure if the positions remain is a draw. We need to see Soulja pass one player, and on the knife edge here, he is challenging Elcon for third. He's challenging Mime for second. This could be an ace. Mutta just needs to survive up front, and Soulja might have to push a little bit to fend off into the breach. Elcon has fallen far behind. Mime is half a second behind Soulja here, and with his mistake, Alliance are going to be right back in it with the ace, and Mutta 128.
4-4, really important ace there for Alliance. Like, just good to see that they have the consistency needed, especially on a high pressure situation to get into the finish there through the identity. Really good job.
Such a long map to drive as well. 1.5 minutes of driving a Trackmania map. Might not seem like a lot, but lasting for 1.5 minutes, Jnic, I think we all know how difficult it is on Agility Dash. So many small tricks you have to manage to get to the finish.
Yeah, I mean, that identity after the longest map is kind of evil. Whoever made this map thought like, okay, let me just make one of the longest maps in the entirety of the World Tour and then add one of the hardest identities on top of that. And that's what we're seeing these people, these players play. And it's impressive how consistent they are throughout the entire map, going into a few speed slides, followed by a left-hander here, now into what Mutta's specialty is, the speed slides.
Let's just appreciate this right here. He's going to set it up. Let's not forget, Elcon up ahead is a really good full speed player as well. 637, and I believe 637 as well for Elcon up front. The speed they had in that looping. Two of the world's best, actually, at full speed. You often see them winning couple of days in that style. And here Elcon is left to defend as Mime has lost a little bit of time. But we know Mime is fast on this track. He had the best time from yesterday, 128.5. He's not going to be able to drive that now. Mutta trying to catch up to Elcon. Elcon going for this jump across the grass, and often airtime is not good, but right there, skipping penalty grass will save him time. He's far ahead, and as Mutta makes a mistake, this round could now change. It could be a win for Into the Breach. Mime is going to pass Mutta, most likely on the checkpoint, and we will have, I believe that is the case indeed, a win here for Into the Breach.
Important win coming in. I mean, there is still not a match point, but you take any points that you can get more than the other team. Mutta a little bit behind. Really an unfortunate situation coming in, but this is like, even though they make it look easy, these identities are incredibly difficult.
Yeah, no, it is just that small first jump at the plastic, landing on that ledge. That's where it went wrong for Mutta, and that is one of the hardest tricks in the entire map pack.
Agreed. I mean, we've played these maps multiple times before as well, and also, if you guys didn't know, the easy versions of these maps are all in the matchmaking section, and even the easy version of this map is so difficult to get down, so that these players, the fact that these players can get that so consistently is so impressive. Here we once again see a few different lines, Elcon and Mime trying to get that sideline, almost half barrel roll to land earlier, where Soulja and Mutta, they will go more towards the middle.
Elcon in last now before the full speed section. Let's see how he does it. We've appreciated Mutta's proficiency at this, but Elcon is just as good at it. Passes a few people there, and then the overlap of the drift mark, 633. The speed is still really, really strong, and this is looking like a possible ace here. Both Into the Breach players 3 tenths ahead. They have the pace, but can they avoid crashing now in this also important moment? Alliance trying to chase them down in the tech part, getting better drifts here, Soulja and Mutta, but it's still about 2 tenths as they go onto the knife's edge. Elcon getting airtime. They will both pass him here to those purple cars, but Mime looking for that win. Can Elcon get back?
Yes, Mime tasked with keeping that first place, and he gets a lot of airtime there, skipping the penalty grass, but Elcon and Mutta closing in quite fast. Mime lost a lot of speed, and it's getting a little bit dangerous here. Elcon really trying to push Mutta. Mutta with a mistake, and it's gonna be an ace for Into the Breach.
Such an important round, such a fast round too. All the players were driving 128 pace before that ending. That is how high the bar is set here, and few can leap over it. Into the Breach managed it this round though, and they are now on track point and also game point. A draw here would end the match, and they would take a win against a team many people have in their top 3. They are showing up so strong here.
They are, and once again on paper, they did look like they were able to. Just the consistency is what they needed, and they definitely put it out here today. Anything short of 2 aces will give Alliance the loss and Into the Breach the victory, so let's see if they can pull it off.
Such a good map for them. The red team in this game, Into the Breach, so fast and also have fixed their problems of crashing. I don't think the Into the Breach we see today would lose to BDS yesterday, but now, in the moment where it matters, we're starting to see some mistakes. Mudda, though, that is a really bad spot to crash. As you can see, the only way Alliance stay in this game is if Mudda passes Mime here, and the gap is
just
about 10 seconds.
Not just Mime, but also Elcon. And with a 10-second deficit, that is looking super, super bleak. Into the Breach are seeing Mudda's mistake, or 6-second deficit here. Alliance are really panicking at this moment. Soldier will hold that first place just for the off chance that Into the Breach makes multiple mistakes in the ending. We have seen that happen before, but Elcon and Mime, they're communicating to each other right now. Let us save this. We only need 1 point. We don't care if we're not first. We just need the point.
They just need the point. Soldier's kind of irrelevant. This is all about Elcon and Mime and about survival. They just need to get through it, but why not pass him for the sake of it here? Elcon showing that, yeah, we came to play, we came to win, and they're gonna do just that. Into the Breach win game 1 of the day.
Well played, Into the Breach, and that's, I think I said that I had Into the Breach as my favorite for this matchup, and they did show that the reason I had them.